It is, I think, somewhat ironic, Joe, that the deal that Kevin McCarthy negotiated just a few weeks back, that he ended up getting removed from his speakership for, actually had $60 billion less in spending than this CR does.
How about that?
So, for all those members who were claiming that they were fighting for principle on fiscal sanity, I think it's been clearly exposed. It really is more of a personal problem with Kevin for them than it was really over policy.
Well, I know some members are getting a little annoyed already. We're hearing Chip Royce, he's got 2 strikes against him already. Should they have fixed that motion to vacate before? You already answered my next question, is you don't think we're going to shut down in January. That probably means, though, he's got to work with Democrats again. So is he going to run into the same trouble as his predecessor?
Again, I think the reality is that Republicans are going to have to work with Democrats because they control the Senate and they control the White House. And so whether it's inside the House conference, I think the position always was the stronger bill you can get out of the House, the more negotiating leverage you have. But I think there's some conservatives, I think, who on principle take a position that they will never vote for CR and that Congress should do its job and pass appropriations bills. The margin is so narrow that means that you're never going to do anything but a CR right now because you're going to have to work with the Democrats to get one passed out of the House.
So the idea of regular order by whatever it is, February 2nd, that's not what we're talking about here. You think there might be another stopgap? It wouldn't be a year long, right? That would be the end of the speaker, I'm assuming. Well,
I do think you'll get a CR that'll finish through the rest of the fiscal year. I'm not sure that the Republicans are in a position right now, having gone through the exercise with Kevin, that they want to remove another speaker.
Yeah.
So I do think that that's where we'll end up. I think at the same time, there'll be appropriations bills put forward in the House that try to pass. I'm skeptical that they'll actually get all 12 done. So I think you're going to end up with another CR, yes.
I want to ask you, of course, about the rest of the job here. It's not just funding the government, but the supplemental budget request, Israel, Ukraine. We talk about it every day, and there's no real path here. Though we've had members of the Senate tell us they think they might actually be able to get this over the finish line in December and not prolong a wait into next year. Are they speaking a different language still than the House on this?
I think that I'm probably optimistic as well that inevitably there'll be funding for Ukraine and Israel. But I'm probably thinking that won't be a standalone bill. I think that's probably something that comes forward combined with the CR in January or February, because at that point, if you're accepting the conversation you and I are already having, that inevitably you're going to need a bipartisan CR bill, then I think the Senate will have more leverage at that point to go ahead and attach the additional supplemental funding, because Johnson's not going to be able to get a Republican-only bill out of the House. So you're going to have to do something bipartisan anyhow. So at that point, it makes more sense to attach that funding.
Hinging on an agreement, some breakthrough that we've waited decades for on border security. Is that fair?
I'm probably less optimistic on the border security funding. I think that a lot of Republicans are anxious to see that. But I think, as Ron DeSantis said from the debate stage a few weeks back, the reality is what the Biden administration is proposing in border security funding is really just more funding to facilitate more asylum processing and to actually allow more refugees into the United States. And I don't think that's really what Republicans are looking for. They want bricks and mortar. They want a wall. They want to change the asylum law, right? So I'm probably less optimistic on the border security piece of it.